just the fact that you have a high profile contract like that, it brings so many other intangibles that you wouldn't have with just another deal. This isn't a contract that you're just going to bring in revenue from. This is a contract that you're going to use as credibility. Like we're doing literally Walmart Canada. Done. So today is what I call our business development day. It's a day that we like to do every week or 2 weeks when we're really in our selling season, where we just try to drum up more business. And there's 5 specific strategies that we like to use on these types of days to reach 3 types of clients. And those are specific owners. So we're dealing directly with the owner of the building and we're trying to convince them to hire us for their specific needs. The second are property managers. They're kind of like the middleman. So we're not going to be able to directly access the owners of the building. We're going to have to go through a middleman, which is the property manager. And the third are these national accounts, these national types of clients where they have dozens or potentially hundreds of properties all across the cities or multiple provinces. And getting to these types of clients is really difficult, but when you do, then you're tapping into a pool of dozens of different types of properties across different territories, and there's a very specific strategy that you have to use to get across to this kind of client. So today we're going to go through 5 of those strategies. We're going to actually do them in person live. And I'm going to show you kind of what we do on these types of days where we go morning to night just trying to get more business. And we're going to start by actually focusing on our existing clients, and that's always the first place to start. Most of these trailers here, they're just going to be parked all season. So when we quote a property like this, I just remove all of the space for the trailers. It's not included in our square footage because they're going to be parked here all season anyway. So it allows us to be a lot more competitive in our pricing when we don't account for the trailer space. And realistically, we're never going to have to clean these areas. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Your next best customer is your existing customer. We're on site with our newest facility that we're bringing on, and it's a client that we already have existing. They're out in Quebec, they're in Montreal, and they have a new facility that they're building here that they've moved into, and they reached out to us and they asked us to bring this facility on to our portfolio. So it's reaching out and communicating with your existing customers, maintaining those relationships, and having a schedule. Like for us, it's every 3 months. We're going to reach out to clients and just check in, see how they're doing, see what more we can do with them, see what their business is like, and how we can be a partner for them in achieving their next goal. So for this client, they were moving here. They had a new facility that they were bringing on board, a large trucking company, and it was just a great fit for us to bring them on, start managing this site, and really start working with them and help them get towards their business goals in, number 1, onboarding them quickly. Hey guys, you're moving in here, you don't need to look around for a new contractor and worry about that. We'll onboard you right away. Planning out the site and maintaining it while they're moving in, no problem, we'll take care of that. Meeting deadlines, meeting timelines fast, we'll take care of that. The communication, we'll take care of that. Providing recommendations of how to maintain the site and bring it up to speed and bring it up to code, we'll take care of that. Those are solutions that we're offering a client that they normally wouldn't find without having an existing relationship. So that's why reaching out to your existing clients, maintaining the relationship, and meeting their business goals while you grow and while they grow is, for me, the best way to continue expanding, continue growing, and getting your next client.
It's not suited for your condo. You got to make a decision. Do we want to do big properties with loaders, or do we want to do little piddly properties with skid steers and sidewalk tractors?
Completely. Just got off the call with a direct competitor. We compete on the same business, the same type of work, and we're built the exact same way, where we use the same type of equipment and we target a very specific type of client. So we're competing head to head. But this is actually probably the best type of partner to bring on for 3 different reasons. Number 1, we're generally bidding on the same kind of work. And if we're bidding on the same kind of work, if we both bid and I submit a bid through them, that means whether I get it or they get it, the work still has a chance of flowing to me. right? And vice versa. So we limit the pool of people that are bidding on the work, and there's a higher chance of you receiving it if you're essentially bidding on the same property multiple times. One directly through yourself and one directly through a partner. Number two, we keep the pricing higher. So if I'm gonna submit a bid and they're gonna submit a bid and then I'm gonna submit another proposal through them, we're able to keep the pricing higher because I know that my pricing is gonna be consistent with what I need. I'm gonna price through them, they're gonna put their piece on top. Now that price is gonna be a little bit higher, right? And then a few other people can potentially get in and bid, but generally any client is gonna only wanna receive maybe 4, 5, maybe 6 bids. That's the maximum. So you have more of an opportunity to keep the pricing high when you're working directly with competitors and you're pricing the same work. And number three, there's a lot of areas that they don't cover and we cover and vice versa. And if we're working with the same client profile and we're not competing with each other, with a negative type of relationship where we're constantly trying to beat each other down, trying to undercut each other's pricing, trying to really play that game. If instead we're saying, hey, you have a property there, okay, we have one really close by. Why don't we switch? Why don't you take this property and we'll take that one because you have more density here and we have more density there. That way you could be more efficient, you can make more money, and we could be more efficient over here and we can make more money there with those specific routes. So we can create that kind of density. We can partner on certain properties. Maybe we get a really large client and we want to partner on that as well. So it's really, really beneficial to work closely with a partner who is a direct competitor on the exact same identical work. That's the best way to find synergies and essentially eliminate a bad competitor or a bad relationship by getting ahead of it and creating a good one. So since we just signed on our new client down the street, we're gonna be implementing my favorite strategy for reaching directly the property owners or property managers, which is just prospecting door to door. But you need 3 things to do it effectively. Number 1, a service guide or something to leave with them. Okay, and make sure it has some case studies in here and outlines all the services that you do and has as much social proof as possible. Clients that you work with, different projects that you've done. Number 2, a memorable business card, right? So our cards are nice and thick, they feel good, they're memorable, and somebody picks it up, they know that it's high quality. Number 3, clients in the area. So that's why as soon as we pick up a client, we are always going door to door in the clients in the area to pick up more. Why? Because we can just point and say, hey, we're working with this client down the street. It gives you social credibility, and it's the social proof that you need. So we're gonna be doing that with this building here and all the different properties down the area, and we'll see what happens. We call this approach the Zilmount. When we were just starting out and in our small service area, every single client down like probably a 2-block radius, it had these bag signs. And every single one said Zilmount, Zilmount, Zilmount snow plowing, Zilmount snow removal. We're like, who are these guys, Zilmount? We checked their website. It's literally a 1-pager with 1 line that just says like, hey, we offer these services. But they had every single client on the street and you could visibly see it. You could see which properties they were servicing. So now, it's like a running joke in our company. We say, hey, let's just do the Zilmount approach, which is whenever we pick up a few clients in the area, we first go out and put bag signs on the properties that we're servicing, and then we canvass the area and we put as many bag signs in the area as possible. And this, in conjunction with physically going door to door, in conjunction with direct online ads that we're running in the area, these multiple things make people aware that, hey, we're here, we're local, and we're offering a service physically in the area. So a Zilmount, the other thing with this approach is as much as possible. Like, you're not just gonna do this every week, little by little. Do as much as you can, all at one shot, right? So you immediately make people aware of who you are. You litter the entire area, and that's when you're gonna get a few calls and you make people aware that we're here, we're in your area, we're in your neighborhood. Okay, we're back at the office and we're getting ready to send out our email blast. The way we do our emails is, first of all, we send 3 separate emails. One to just kind of warm up the conversation, one to start initiating that offer, and one to introduce the offer and try to go for the close. And the other thing is we segment our emails by the type of client. So what we do is we just put together a simple doc and we have different versions of our emails for the different clients that we're trying to go out and hit with this email blast. The first segment is our win back list. So these are clients that we didn't get a chance to work with in the past. We've quoted them, we tried to work together, but it just didn't work out. This is a great list. It always works well for us because they already know who we are. Like I said, we had an opportunity to work with them, it just didn't work out. So they're really, really receptive to hearing us out again. The second is obviously our existing clients. And the third is cold, just cold outreach, cold lists that we'll generally get. We'll put them all on a spreadsheet. We'll get these lists either from Google Satellite, like we'll literally pull up the properties and try to find the individual properties that are close by to existing clients that we currently service. And in the emails, we will mention that we service these other clients in the area. And then the second type is like these real estate investment trusts and these other larger companies. And we'll put together a list of all the different emails that we can find with different property managers that work for these larger companies. Because these guys have 10, 20, 30 different property managers and decision makers. And the more emails that we can find, the higher the chance that that email is going to reach eventually a decision maker, right? So the actual email is really, really simple. So first of all, we write a different one for each type of client segment. And the 3 emails are a little bit different. But we like to always include a video inside of the email where we're just maybe introducing something about the company or we're making an offer, but there's a video directly linked in the email. That's number 1. And number 2, we want to talk about the benefits. We're not just going in and talking about the offer and trying to go for the close. We want to talk about the benefits. We want to talk about the company. We want to introduce the brand. And my barometer for a successful email is this something that they can just simply forward to a colleague, forward to a friend who might be interested in the service? Let's say they're not. Is this just an email that they can easily forward to somebody else without any context, and that person can say, okay, yeah, hey, these guys, we might be interested in them, right? So that's generally my bar for testing out if the email is good or not. And then we'll have our signature and we'll say, hey, if you have any questions, reach out. Now, really, really important one note. When you are sending these emails, make sure that you're sending them at least 2 to 3 weeks apart. You send your first one out, introduce the company, introduce the offer. You send your first one out in a few weeks. Then you send your third one out to close. And if you want to really take this to another level, when you send that third one out, make sure you call every single customer that you send it to. Say, hey, I just sent this email. Just wanted to touch base and see if there's any other questions that I can answer for you. You do this after your third email. So that's exactly how we structure our emails and blast. All right, that's a wrap to our day. Now we talked about our 5 strategies, but now I kind of want to bring it all together and really talk about how to use them all in conjunction. And what we do, what works really, really well for us is we use all these 5 strategies on one cluster or one dream ideal client instead of spreading too thin and trying to do this for everybody, right? So for us, there was a specific cluster that we wanted to target in a local business park. We wanted to bring more density in this area. So we were out there putting out signs, calling them. We found them on Google and we were sending them emails and we were targeting them online. So what this did is it showed the client, number 1, that we're really, really hungry and we want to work, we're visible, we're local. And also brought a sense of credibility when they're seeing us in different mediums, right? So they know that, hey, we have a sign, but also we have a website and we're showing them on a phone call or on a piece of print that we also have that side to us as well. And it does bring a lot of credibility to you, and it certainly works really, really well for us. So combining these different strategies, going after one ideal client, you know who they are in your local market, you know who you want to target, go after them, right? Don't just have one strategy that you're using all across the board. Take a small group and really put all your eggs in one basket to try to target that client. And that's really what's worked well for us in developing density all across the board, one step at a time, 1 year at a time. All right, now, if you like the video, leave a like, leave a comment, and let me know if there's a strategy that we missed or what your favorite strategy is to, you know, going out and getting your next client, because there's lots of ways to do it. But like I said, combining them is really where the magic happens. We'll see you on the next one.